Wow, what a game here at Sun Devil Stadium between Arizona State and Notre Dame on Saturday afternoon. That's Chris Cartman of ASUDevils.com. I'm Jared Cohen of Sports360AZ.com. And Chris, it was almost like a basketball game where there's runs and different things happen. It happened in a football game. You don't see that very much, but it was because of the defense and what the Sun Devil defense was able to do, making plays. That's what got them up very early in this game, and that's what ultimately sealed it for them.
It's funny you mentioned that because at halftime I was talking about UCLA on Twitter last year and what happened when ASU was up really big, and then UCLA came back and the game got really tight at the end. Same thing happened in this game, almost a mirror image. It was different how it happened, the way that ASU was able to generate all those 5 turnovers, deflections, and they put a lot of pressure. I mean, it was just a remarkable performance in that regard. And yeah, I mean, they basically did enough. You know, I don't think anybody's going to come away from this saying, oh, you know, ASU played great, but it's a team that just keeps winning.
One thing about the defense that you made sure to talk about to Graham with very, very much is stopping Everett Golson. I mean, he's so elusive, so athletic, and has a deceivingly great arm, and they were able to do that in this game and then some.
Yeah, they wanted to make him step up vertically into the pocket and deliver the football because he's either good at rolling out and throwing the ball downfield on big play shots or extending plays when he's able to get lateral. And he really wasn't able to do either of those two things. He was uncomfortable, I thought, the whole game on a lot of the slants and things they were trying to throw. That's when they got the deflections because he's a shorter guy. He's shown a tendency to have those types of plays earlier in the season. He's averaged about 1.5 turnovers per game. So with ball security issues were a big problem. ASU turned him over time and again there in the first half. And that really was the difference. And then, you know, the offense at the end was able to kind of do just enough.
And speaking of the offense, they were able to get the start and they were able to finish it off. That's the key. What they weren't able to do against Utah was get into the end zone and capitalize off of the getting the ball back and capitalize off the turnovers. They were able to do that on 2 specific plays off of turnovers in their own red zone, and that's what really catapulted them ahead. Then they were able to get the big score that sealed it for them.
Right. I thought early on their game plan was very good. They ran right at Notre Dame. Notre Dame likes the pressure from the edge, and they had their best player, Joe Schmidt, was out, and they replaced him with a true freshman. And so what they basically did was they just ran power right at him, and then they took some big shots down the field with Kelly. And a couple of those didn't work out, but it opened up the offense, and so they were able to have some success in duality early on in the game. Then when they had a big lead, they got super conservative. I thought that the zone read stuff was taken away because they were crashing down, and Kelly wasn't really pulling it. So they had some 3-and-outs, and then the game got tight. But then at the end, they opened it up again. And DJ Foster, DeMario, Richard, they did really well, and Notre Dame was caught and didn't handle it well.
This game almost seemed like a season within the season because it has nothing to do with their Pac-12 lives, but has so much to do with their national lives and their playoff lives, and they were able to come through in a huge way to really catapult them to places that they really just haven't been at really ever or very often.
Yeah. They had a scenario where maybe if they did lose this game, they could have run the table and beaten an Oregon in the Pac-12 title game and still maybe been in the conversation for the 14 playoff. But now that they've beaten Notre Dame, basically if they win the rest of their games, they're in. There's no stopping that. And Oregon State's a team that they should beat. Washington State is a team they should beat. Arizona's going to be a tough toss-up game. If they can somehow get past that, they're playing in the biggest game that ASU's probably ever played in outside of a Rose Bowl.
So we'll continue to bring it as it all unfolds. Arizona State in the driver's seat now to not only bring home a Pac-12 South crown, but maybe even a spot in the playoff if things continue the way that they're going. That's Chris Cartman of ASUDevils.com. Jared Cohen, Sports360 AZ, 55-31 the final here from Sun Devil Stadium.